My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Taurus. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For today, I'm going to be doing a general love reading, a 5 card spread. But before I do that, I want to offer these 12 red roses as a token of my love and appreciation for your love, support, and devotion towards my channel. I love you guys incredibly, and thank you also very much for your love towards me. So, this 5 card love reading includes where the first card represents you, the second the other person, the third the relationship, the fourth the past, the fifth the future. Then I'm going to draw a Vampire Oracle for you, and then a Favole, and then one from the Le Tarot Interdit Vampiria deck. But anyway, let's get started with card number 1, which is you. The Magician, Virgo, and Gemini energy. Okay. Well, the thing is, I'm kind of getting mixed senses from this card, On a positive note, it shows that you're actually putting time and effort regarding, this manifestation of this relationship. So if you're in a single position or any kind of singlehood for that matter, I see that you're actually creating something, It could be, a lot of self-development, maybe you're actually creating this grounded, balanced, foundation where you can more or less start growing from and stuff like that. But either way, it's like any form of creation would probably enhance your, chances of maybe finding true love, of finding that Mr. or Mrs. Right in your life. But either way, for the ones who are actually in a single position, because, it's like, or you could be heading down towards singlehood, it's because you're also going to be manifesting or creating an escape route of, thinking, okay, I need to break up or divorce from this person as well. But on another positive note, it could also be, that if you're in a long-lasting committed relationship, it could also be, that you're going to be adding more romantic and maybe erotic flair or any kind of, creations or desires in this relationship as well. Because what does the Magician do? They create things. It's wanting to manifest something. It's wanting to bring forth this idea of whatever it may be. So, well, let's see who the other person is, or could be. Page of Cups. Okay. Yeah, this actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting mostly the ones who are either, in a singlehood because they haven't found true love, or they're in a singlehood because, this daydream didn't work out for them as well. But what I actually mostly see for the ones who are single, who haven't found Mr. or Mrs. Right in this world, is you're trying to create this daydream. You're trying to create this sort of, it's a bit of an illusion because, it's like any kind of daydream, it's like mostly kind of fiction at the moment because it's not real. It's not in a realistic mindset or, actual phase yet to be, presenting, this real big end product of this relationship. But yeah, the thing is about, daydreams, it's like if you read these books, these fiction books for that matter, the thing is, it's all just, they're pipe dreams in the sense that they're not real. If you wish to actually, find a vampire and get turned into a vampire, most likely it's not going to work out. I mean, of course, a lot of humans would pretty much consider me, a fiction, but of course, it's like I am here for a reason, I hope. But the point is, it's like if you ever, will find yourself in a situation where you just think, well, I'm just only based off of, just only, this daydreamy kind of phase and stuff like that. Okay, it's like, well, best of luck on where that may take you. But it could also be, it's like that you are leaving this person because, you're also, this, creating this escape route for yourself because, maybe this daydream is, that you tried to manifest, wasn't working out for you. And now you're just thinking, you know what? I'm just going to have to take off. I'm leaving. I can't, will deal with this person anymore. It just did not, will feel right. I had this certain idea and then it just did not work out in my favor. But it could also be if you're in a current long-lasting committed relationship with somebody that your, daydream did come true in other ways as well. So, or it could even be with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But let's see what the relationship is or could be. 10 of Pentacles. Well, the 10 of Pentacles has mixed meanings. On one side, it's happy home, happy earth, happy family. So if you found your true love, your long-lasting, committed soulmate partner, your husband, wife, spouse, companion for life and stuff like that, congratulations. And may you have many anniversaries to come in the years to come. But it could also be feeling happy home, happy earth, happy family within your own body, your flesh and blood, of thinking, I may be in a single position, but that's not going to stop me from actually either A, living a singlehood for the rest of my life, which of course, no judgment ever coming from me. But B, you're also confident enough to want to start manifesting something as well. So again, take it how it resonates, but let's look at what the past was about. Four of Pentacles. Okay, Four of Pentacles, of course, it is one of your beautiful cards because it is a card of stability. Now, you could have already been single for a long time, maybe even in the past, again, depending on your age. But the thing is the Four of Pentacles is about stability, groundedness. It's pretty much, living comfortably. Now, you could still be, living comfortably with your current spouse, whoever you're currently with, or your companion, in other words. But if you were in a single position, where you were pretty much just saying, okay, it's like, I'm in a comfortable position. Yes, it's like, I do have a salary, but I'm living like in a small apartment and stuff like that. Okay, it's like, there's more than what meets the eye. And if people are only too one-sided and only look at, your living situation and say, nope, I can't be with you because you're not in the house, or you're not in a manor or mansion, and I just cannot be, with you and stuff like that. Just always, forget about those types of people, because then they're more, mostly out for, money, wise, and not anything about wanting to have this stable, grounded, long-lasting, committed relationship. So, let's see what the future is about. Page of Swords. Okay, so you're definitely heading out into this world, and you could also be heading towards an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Maybe you are currently with an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or maybe you and this this air sign or water sign. And again, take it how it resonates, or even with a Gemini, you could be heading out towards, the summer holiday season or vacation times, whatever it may be. But if you're in a single position and stuff like that, I do see you actually taking effort, in the future as well, because you're actually manifesting something. It could be some kind of a bit of a daydream, or it could be with the water sign, because, you're hoping to be in a Ten of Pentacles, happy home, happy hearth, happy family. You already had the stable, grounded, balanced foundation from the start, but now you're going to head out into this world. Maybe you had to work on your own prospects, your own goals, maybe finding a job, maybe something, that, provided you with some form of stability regarding the Four of Pentacles. But, yeah, now you're pretty much in the phase of thinking, okay, everything, all systems go. Now the final phase is to go out and find true love. Okay, because what does Oracle say? Goodness, sometimes these cards just do not want to pop up. Resurrection, reprise, recovery, and comeback. Okay. Well, the thing is, it's like, if you faced all forms of rejection, neglect, whatever it is, refusals for that matter, now that you're in a very, good and stable and grounded and just very, stable position, now you're probably going to be having some kind of resurrection moment or reprise where you're actually heading back out into this world. Maybe you had to just work on yourself. Maybe you had to just do a lot of self-improvement and self-development, whatever it may be, or even include. And now you're in a very, confident position of heading out into this world. So that's kind of what I see for my beautiful Tauruses in this reading for today. Wow. And that's actually sort of very important to do, Hypothetically, if any form of rejection or refusal did take place in your past where people are like, well, you're just not good enough for me, because of, all these basic reasons and stuff like that. Those types of humans are highly immature, and they're also not actual spouse or companion material in the future. At least that would pretty much be on the same level as your high intelligence and your confidence. So, a lot of humans, they tend to be a bit too one-sided, where they only focus on one aspect without even realizing, maybe we could grow together, and then we could actually create this very beautiful, abundant household of Ten of Pentacles, right? But a lot of humans don't really have, like, the patience for that kind of, like, waiting and stuff like that, because some humans, they crave immediate gratification, where they need to see, this immediate, like, Ten of Pentacles moment, and then they're just so drawn. But that's also only just focused on material possessions and not about actually creating this healthy, long-lasting, committed relationship, Okay, because what does Favole say? Seven of Swords. Okay, yeah, there's deception and con artistry taking place, because that's the Seven of Butterflies. It's an air card. So what I'm mostly seeing here I mean, the Seven of Swords has different meanings. On one positive side, it could be, that you're strategizing, you're planning, you're really, looking ahead because, well, you are heading out into this world and stuff like that, but maybe you're just mostly just also thinking about, okay, how are we going to avoid, past mistakes? How can we actually learn from the past, to be applying it to the future so we don't just, we'll fall in love with some basic human that pretty much just, wants our money and stuff like that. I mean, you could also have manifested a Ten of Pentacles, or even, happy home, happy heart, happy family, or, for yourself and your pets or whoever it is out in this world as well. But yeah, but on the negative aspect, it's also, being a bit of a con artist and deceptive individual, or you could be heading off towards a con artist or deceptive individual as well. Wow, intense. But I'm sure, it's mostly focused on that you're mostly, learning from the past and hoping, to improve for the future. Okay, because let's finish off with the Tarot Interdit. Ah, Queen Commandant d'Argent. This is actually Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so you could be heading off towards a fellow Earth sign, maybe another Taurus, maybe a Capricorn or Virgo for it. But what I mostly see here is, you're going to be in a very stable, grounded, rational, realistic, and also abundant, hardworking mindset or even position in the future. Now, you could also be, single for the future as well. It doesn't even have to be anything regarding finding true love as well. But you could also come across as being a very loving, caring individual, very nurturing, supportive, just, this kind of, guardian type of mindset of, that more or less draws, some of these other humans. But I would definitely be careful with who you accept into your life, because you want to make sure that they're not after your finances and just say, oh, I love you, but how much did you say you made? Or how much is this house or this, all these things worth and stuff like that. It's like those are just like, Seven of Swords type, that pretty much has come across as being this very loving and caring individual. And then on the inside, they're pretty much just a con artist in their own way. Wow. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to have to leave it at this for now. But if this reading resonated for you, please feel free to join and subscribe to my channel. I want to thank you all for joining me. I love you guys incredibly. I want to wish you all the best of luck on where this love reading may take you. In a few days, I'm going back to general reading. So for now, I'm just doing love in general. But I'm also open for personal readings. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel. Post in the little description box below that you want a personal reading from me. And I'll respond to you with my email. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys incredibly.